Much-needed funding is on the way. How the Rock Island Arsenal could benefit from a new deal passed by Congress. A man killed on a motorized bicycle in Davenport. What's on his family's mind after just celebrating his birthday? And lots of people getting ready to celebrate the holidays this week. How to make sure your celebrations are safe. But first, we're getting started with your top story. More than $100 million is expected to go to the Rock Island Arsenal as part of a bipartisan funding deal. The legislation will send $120 million to the Arsenal. This will provide mobile maintenance capacity and boost the manufacturing capability at the Arsenal. It maintains Humvees for the Army and builds a multi-purpose vehicle that makes it easier to fix other vehicles in the field that have been damaged in battle. Your local election headquarters brings you this development in Iowa's 2nd Congressional District race. Democrat Rita Hart has filed a notice of contest with the U.S. House of Representatives to challenge the results. The state-certified Republican Marionette Miller Meeks as the winner by 6 votes. Hart argues 22 ballots were unlawfully excluded from the certified results. She says that includes 2 ballots that were available curbside by voters living with disabilities in Scott County. Hart maintains a handful of ballots in Scott County were also rejected because the envelopes weren't properly sealed. No word yet if the House will review the race. A local family is remembering one of its relatives after a tragic death right before the holidays. Davenport police say 46-year-old Larry Wiggins was killed after his motorized bicycle hit a car in Davenport on Monday night. The family of the 46-year-old says it happened a day after his birthday. Local 4's Ryan Risky reports it's impacting the tight-knit family.
Salitha Wiggins works 3rd shift at her job. She went to work like normal, but then the police came looking for her.
I was told by the police officer that my brother was in a car accident and that he didn't make it.
Larry Wiggins was on a motorbike.
Police have not told us if the driver of the car was ticketed. Investigators have released the name of the woman who died in an apartment fire in Davenport over the weekend. She's 62-year-old Cindy Wilson. Firefighters found her after responding to a fire alarm at the Heritage on West 3rd Street Sunday night. They say smoke filled the 2nd floor main hallway and a sprinkler activated in one of the units. An autopsy is scheduled for this week. A West Burlington man is facing several charges after reports of gunfire yesterday. Police picked up 32-year-old Montez Thompson. They say it happened around 3 a.m. on the South 13th Street near Acre Street. Officers say they didn't find any victims, but they did spot a vehicle that was hit by gunfire. Thompson is being held at the Des Moines County Correctional Center on bond. Now the latest developments on coronavirus cases locally. 6 people died in Rock Island County. That's now 227 deaths in the county. There are 58 new cases, and Illinois' positivity rate is 7.5%. Scott County reports 2 people died in the latest update. There are 63 new cases. Almost 11,000 people have recovered, and Iowa's positivity rate is 32.7%. Eldridge City Council votes to temporarily close its City Hall offices. Staff there say this is because of a big rise in positive COVID-19 cases among the employees, and they say this will be evaluated after the new year with the hope of reopening on Monday, January 4th. The closure will delay the mailing of utility bills, and staff hopes to mail out those on either January 4th or January 5th. Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds says vaccines for COVID-19 continue despite not getting as many initial doses as expected for the state. She says more than 8,400 people have been vaccinated in the state so far. The Moderna vaccine got to Iowa on Monday, and Governor Reynolds addressed the concerns that Iowa would not get about 20% of those doses that they had anticipated by the end of the year.
There are bound to be some bumps in the road as we head down this new path and move forward. So it's important, I think, to keep in mind that while receiving less vaccine than initially estimated is disappointing, it doesn't change the fact that at this very moment, Iowans are being vaccinated.
Health officials updated the priorities for groups to get the COVID-19 vaccine. The next group after healthcare workers are frontline essential workers and people 75 years or older. And after that, it's people 65 to 74 and people 16 to 64 years old with high-risk medical conditions. Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine is giving rural hospitals more ability to give out vaccines, and it doesn't need to be stored in a deep freezer like the Pfizer vaccine. Moderna's vaccine only needs to be kept in a standard refrigerator, and that's helpful for hospitals like the Jones Regional Medical Center in Anamosa. The rural hospital couldn't use the Pfizer vaccine because it doesn't own a deep freezer. The CEO says that they did consider buying one.
But then when the governor came out with the plan to really put it in, like, what was it, 5 or 6 different centralized centers, you know, we abandoned that plan. It would be the only thing we would use it for would be the Pfizer vaccine. So looking long term, that probably wouldn't have been the greatest way to expend those finances, especially, you know, things are tight right now.
Jones Regional Medical Center has about 280 employees, and the hospital will get about 300 doses this week. It expects another shipment because 2 doses of the vaccine is required for it to be effective. In Illinois, about 63,000 people outside of Chicago have been vaccinated, and more than 60,000 more doses of the Pfizer vaccines will be shipped around the state by today. A large portion will go to long-term care facilities and will then be administered by Walgreens and CVS starting next week. Around 174,000 doses of Moderna's vaccine are expected to be delivered to hospitals starting today and Thursday. Christmas is only 2 days away now, and the holiday season has already felt much different than before, but there are plenty of holiday celebrations that can still be done in a safe way. And coming up in our next hour, Local 4's Taylor Bozer shows you some socially distant ways to celebrate. Coming up, a boost to local charities. Who's behind a donation for organizations dedicated to people who are less fortunate? What difference the money makes? That's in our next half hour.